There is a silence growing between you. But it is not empty. It is sacred. The angels lean close tonight, whispering what your heart has long suspected but your mind keeps trying to rationalize. This silence, it's not rejection. It's revelation. He is still. Not because he stopped feeling, but because something inside him has just begun. When God writes two names in the same story, he often begins with a pause. And right now he is standing on that holy pause, watching, questioning, trembling at the edge of something he cannot yet name. Your soul touched something dormant in him. A room he locked long ago is now flooded with your presence. And he is seeing not only you, but himself through your light. Why her, he wonders. Why now? And heaven answers through your silence, because she carries what you lost. And she loves what you're afraid to show. The angels reveal, he was not sent to complete you. You were placed in his path to wake him. To remind him that love, when divine, doesn't force, it reflects. He has prayed for peace. God sent him your gaze. He asked for truth. And you came with silence. Now a question lingers in the air between you two. Will he have the courage to open that door? Or will the fear of what he might feel keep him frozen longer? Wait, but don't still your soul. Because what seems still on the surface is already shifting beneath. And the one who delays you now might soon kneel beside you. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not delay. Habakkuk 2 verse 3. He doesn't know how to love you the way you deserve, not because he doesn't feel enough, but because he's terrified that you'll see the parts of him he tries to keep hidden. There are things he has never told anyone. Not because of secrecy, but because even saying them aloud would make them real. And for him, real means vulnerable. The angels reveal that he carries a silent grief. Wounds from promises that were broken too soon, and hopes that were shattered just as he began to believe. You didn't cause this, but your presence stirs it. You remind him of what he thought he'd never find again, a chance to be seen and not judged. To be imperfect, and still loved. But to accept that kind of love, he would have to let go of every wall he built to survive. And right now, those walls are trembling, but they're still standing. That's why he comes close, then retreats. Smiles, then grows quiet. It's not personal. It's ancient. Show her what hurts, the angels whisper to his soul. But his hands remain clenched, afraid you'll run if you see the full weight he carries. And yet, you stay. That, alone, is softening him. He doesn't know how to be held. But he observes how your heart waits, not to fix him, but to love him without a mask. Let that be enough for now. Because sometimes, healing doesn't start with answers. It starts with someone who doesn't walk away when the silence gets too loud. You've given so much of yourself, sometimes without realizing how much it costs. The angels see it. They've watched how your love wraps around others, even when your own soul whispers, "Don't forget me." He is trying to find his way. But your path must not be lost in the process. This love, this connection, it was never meant to ask you to dim your light. If anything, it came to remind you how radiant you truly are. But somewhere along the way, you started shrinking to fit into the pauses. Waiting in between messages. Wondering if your softness made you too easy to overlook. The angels want you to hear this. Your tenderness is not weakness. Your empathy is not too much. He feels your light, even from a distance. And it terrifies him. Because you love in a way that reveals every part of him that remains hidden. But your healing does not rely on his understanding. Your joy does not need his presence to flourish. Nurture your soul. Choose your peace. Return to the things that lift your spirit. Because when you shine from within, unaffected by delay or distance, your energy becomes undeniable, irresistible. And if he's meant to stand beside you, he will rise, not because you waited, but because you never abandoned yourself while loving him. The angels say, you were never hard to love. You were just too sacred to be rushed. You did not enter his life to please him. You came to awaken him. There's something about you, your stillness, your truth, your refusal to pretend, that unsettles him in the most profound way. The angels reveal this. When he looks at you, he sees his own soul reflected back, and that terrifies him. You are the mirror he wasn't prepared to confront. You didn't try to change him. You simply stood in your light, and in doing so, revealed everything he's been trying to evade. His doubts, his wounds, the love he desires but feels unworthy of. He may accuse you of being too intense, or say this is moving too fast. But what he really means is, you see too much. And yet, he keeps coming back. Because even when it's uncomfortable, your energy feels like truth. And deep down, he craves truth. You hold up a mirror without judgment. A reflection without distortion. That's why he can't forget you. The angels whisper, she didn't come to flatter your ego. She came to speak to your soul. Let him tremble. Let him resist. But do not dull your light to make him feel more at ease. Your light is fulfilling its purpose, illuminating the parts of him that yearn for healing. Stay in your light. He's watching. And slowly, he's seeing himself through the way you love. It began quietly, like a flicker in a darkened room. He doesn't talk about it. But something inside him is changing. The angels say he is beginning to feel the ache of your absence in places he used to numb. The echo of your name now lingers in moments he once filled with distractions. It is not loud, but it is constant. He starts to remember small things. Your voice in the early morning, the way you listened without trying to fix him, the silence that never asked him to be more than he was. And in those memories, something cracks. He's not the same. Not completely. Not yet. But something sacred has begun. You stirred a longing he never knew he carried. Not for romance, but for restoration. For peace. For a home inside someone who doesn't demand perfection. He never told you, but you felt like safety. And now that safety is missing, everything else feels louder. Harder. The angels are watching this awakening with reverence. Let him walk through the fog, they say. But let her keep shining. Her light is what called him forward. What you planted is breaking through the ground now. Roots are forming beneath what he hasn't yet spoken. And when he finally dares to look at you again, really look, he won't just see you. He'll see who he is becoming. He comes. He goes. He gets close, then vanishes. And every time, your heart wonders, is it me? Did I ask for too much? But the angels shake their heads softly. This is not rejection, they say. It's resistance. Not to you. To himself. He feels the pull. He feels the peace. But then, it terrifies him. Because no one ever stayed after seeing his whole truth. And you almost did. That kind of love doesn't register in a heart still learning how to receive. So he runs, not to forget you, but to escape what you represent. Healing. Intimacy. Truth. You've become the moment of reckoning he spent years avoiding. That's why he reaches out, then hides. Because part of him believes love is danger. That softness leads to pain. But love like yours, it doesn't demand. It doesn't chase. It doesn't collapse. You remain. Not in obsession, but in essence. Not waiting, just witnessing. And each time he returns, something in him stays a little longer. The cycle is not punishment. It's purging. It's preparation. It's the slow unlearning of everything he was taught about love. Yes, it's hard to watch him run from what you'd cradle. But the angels ask, what if his running is what's teaching him how much he longs to stay? Let the cycle complete itself. When he's ready, it won't be because you begged. It'll be because his soul finally surrendered. There is something about your love. It does not scream. It does not beg. But it heals. The angels show me his heart, cracked and afraid, trying to protect itself from what feels too good to be true. And yet, Your love keeps seeping in through every gap. Not through words. Through presence. He feels it when you speak his name with kindness. He feels it when your silence holds no resentment. He feels it when you're not near, but he still remembers how seen you made him feel. Your love has become a medicine his soul didn't know it needed. He doesn't always respond. He might not say thank you. But he feels better when you're in his life, even if he doesn't understand why. You love without performance. Without a mask. Without a deadline. And in a world that taught him love always comes with pain, that feels like a miracle. The angels say, she is undoing what others did. With no demand, only light. That's why he dreams of you, thinks of you, misses you at the most random moments. Because you didn't just enter his life. You entered his memory. And now, every part of him touched by your tenderness is starting to soften. This is not obsession. This is soul medicine. You are not here to fix him. You are the reminder that he is not too broken to be loved. And that love is already doing its quiet work. There is a timing that the soul understands, even when the heart aches for answers. You may feel forgotten, delayed, like the promise is near, but never quite arrives. But the angels want you to know, this love has not been abandoned. It has been entrusted. Entrusted to a divine process. To sacred timing. To hands that never let go. He is not late. He is becoming. God does not plant without intending a harvest. And what was planted between you, this bond, this recognition, this pull that defies reason, it was not an illusion. It was instruction. There is still more to unfold. More to understand. More to become before you two can meet again, not in passing, but in peace. You were never meant to chase. You were meant to trust. The angels reveal, even now he is being drawn, not by pressure, but by providence. Not by fear, but by the echo of something his soul remembers. Every silence has brought him closer. Every pause has purified the intention. And though you cannot see it, heaven is orchestrating this with care. The connection was not just for romance, it was to awaken destiny. You will not have to force what is being aligned. You only have to stay open to receive it. For we know that all things work together for good to those who love God. Romans 8 verse 28. He wants to love you. But love to him feels like surrender. And surrender feels like risk. The angels whisper, he has built his life on control. On being the strong one, the silent one, the one who never lets emotion undo him. But then came you. You didn't demand his secrets, you listened to his silence. You didn't push him to open up, you made him feel safe enough to want to. And that scares him more than anything. Because if he lets you all the way in, you'll see what he hides. Not just the pain, but the soft places. The dreams he's buried. The fears he doesn't name. You'd see the boy before the man. And he's not sure he could survive being that exposed. The angels say, he has never loved this deeply before. That's why he trembles at the threshold. This isn't about you being too much. It's about him learning that he's allowed to feel. You are the invitation, not the threat. But until he answers it, all you can do is stay rooted in your own light. Because love is not proven by proximity. It's revealed in the courage to be seen. And when he finally chooses to be known, not just adored, that's when love will no longer frighten him. It will free him. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147 verse 3. There comes a point in the journey where striving must end. Not because you gave up, but because your soul finally understands. What is yours will find its way. The angels gather near now, not to promise a timeline, but to remind you of the truth. Divine love does not ask for chasing. It waits in trust. You've done your part. You've loved without needing to be seen. You've waited without bitterness. You've held space where others might have walked away. That is sacred. And now, they ask you to release what was never yours to carry. not the weight of his healing, not the timing of his return, not the outcome. You are not responsible for his awakening, only for remaining awake within yourself. The angels speak gently, let go, not with despair, but with devotion. Let go as one who trusts, not as one who retreats. Because love that is real does not vanish. It transforms. It deepens. It aligns. If he is meant for your life, not even time can steal him. And if he is not, love will come, not as a replacement, but as a reward. You have passed through the sacred fire. You have remained soft where life tried to harden you. That is victory. Now rest in this. What is written for you already knows the way. Amen.